let's get in. Let's kill some stuff. I mean, save some mushrooms. All right, so guys, last time we left off, you finished your journey into the mushroom colony that your dear friend, the Myconid Sovereign, had been taking you towards. You continued to travel. You eventually found your way into what began to look like a city and a series of built-in architecture into the stalks of these large houses, or these large mushrooms, and it's an obvious society built out there. And you immediately saw the Myconid Sovereign run forward, terrified at the sounds of battle, and you guys essentially emerged onto a massive, almost a war zone between the Myconids and spiders. And this is clearly a Myconid town, and it was invaded by spiders, and they were killing off the sprouts, the adults, the sovereigns. The people of this mushroom town were just being assaulted by the spiders, and looked like a dire situation. You guys intervened, fought off a horde of spiders on your own, taking more than half of the pressure off of the denizens of this, Myconid town, and eventually met up with a couple of new adventurers who were staring you down as you both rushed to the other side of the battlefield, wanting to prevent more bloodshed and conflict. You had a conversation and became non-hostile after Dude screamed demon. You became less hostile.
Less hostile. Let's go with that. Less hostile.
Yeah. Less hostile. And that was about it. It was basically a iron-ass battle last time. And so now you guys are in the middle of the city, this Myconid city, watching them gather their dead, try to heal their wounded. And what do you want to do?
So they have a couple of dead, right? I'd like to talk to the king. I can only bring 2 people back to life. So I'd like to tell him that, I'd like to help out his people by, reviving some of them, but he's going to have to make a decision.
Right. Makes sense. Yeah. So you go up and you see your Myconid that you've been traveling with go up to a slightly larger one, and I'll just I wish there was a crown or something, so I'll put this fire on him because that's kind of crown-like. So that guy appears to be the leader, and he was the one that was fighting nearby with Zero and Alwyn when you guys arrived. And that Myconid, as everything's kind of settling down, and he ignores you at first because there's panic going on. He's trying to coordinate you, and you have to go back to your Myconid and kind of express hey, I can help. I can bring a couple of them back. And your Myconid, and he is wounded. He took a couple of heavy blows during that fight, and he goes up and he puts a firm grip on the other one's shoulder. And this one, he's got some like kind of rounded mushrooms that almost look like armor on top of him. And he holds them there. And he looks at him, and you get the feeling that expressed like revival, few. Save them. You kind of get the telepathic message between the two of them is sent to you as well. And he looks to you, and both hope and despair flash across his face at the same time. And real quick, Duke, do you have which spells are you casting, or are you thinking of for this? And do you have the components for this? Because usually it costs diamonds
one of
to
them,
cast
I have a
revival
scroll.
spells.
Right. So one of them I have a scroll, and the other one is a spell.
Okay, but do you have the components? I think that's the part.
So the component is a gem, and I should have some of those. Come on, go to the spell. Where's it at? So is for the and I don't know if you have to have it with a scroll as well. So it's a diamond worth 300 gold pieces.
Okay, and you have that?
Where's my stat? 1 second.
Okay. If the spell is in your class's spell list, you can read the scroll and cast it with its spell without providing any material components. So the scroll will work for you definitely.
Give me 1 second. I have to go through the list of what we have.
Sure.
The
right.
diamond.
Luckily, I
think
I only gave you an 82 gold diamond though.
Yeah.
Well, see, there's one 84 gold diamond, and then there's these 3 other diamonds that I don't know what they do. Well, there's right.
I don't think we only have 1 diamond, and that's the elongated one. And
we have 1 84 gold piece diamond, and then we have 1 citrine elongated diamond, 1 diamond that's elongated, and a topaz that's elongated.
Yep, those are just the diamond shapes. Those there is a diamond in a diamond shape. Yes, that one. Go ahead and roll an Arcana check for me.
Is that one? I didn't know what it did yet, so there's like no gold piece value next to it. So
we can't use that one.
Okay. Hold on. Where's that guy at? There we go. You said an Arcana check, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, you get the sense that there is some magical property about that particular diamond, and that you think it would likely interfere with the spell you're trying to cast.
Okay, so then I can just do the one.
Just the one.
All right.
Well, unless we should talk to the Sovereign and see if he has, because they live in a mine.
Oh, right. Yeah.
They may have diamonds.
The one that I put a little shield on him. Let me see if there's something better.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, okay. I see the flame in the shield. So yeah, I guess I'd try to explain through images to him that I can revive one person, and then if it's another person to bring back, that I would need a diamond that would be worth a lot of gold.
And the message comes across. You see him puzzled, confused. He doesn't know what you're talking about. He doesn't know what a diamond is.
Okay, so I take the diamond that I have, and I show it to him, and then I try to mime but I need it bigger.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that comes across, this emotional telepathy. This larger, needed. Kind of turns his head like he's thinking, and then like an idea pops into his head. His head jerks up, and he points over to the other sovereign, the one of the 3, the other one he hasn't interacted with yet, and he sends out, glowing room, dangerous, do not enter, worth it, go, is kind of the thoughts there that he transmits to him.
I look over at him and attempt to say, "Hey, we can go do that."
And he literally, like, he was already like turned in stride, about to go, and he looks back. And he looks questioning, and it's a why.
If it's dangerous. Danger.
Why help us?
Because we can. We've been in this mine, attempting to thwart this unnatural thing that's happening. We feel like it's connected to the underworld, and that's why we're here in the first place.
No, it's the one that was about to go take off the task.
The other one that we don't know about.
Yeah. Before I continue, Zero, any commentary in this moment or anything, or are you just kind of watching?
Zero is just watching everybody with a very calm smile on his face.
Okay. Sounds good. And Alwyn is in the background, just kind of like pacing back and forth. He seems frustrated. He's kind of pacing back and forth, and so is his cat. The two kind of cross each other back and forth. And the leader at this point kind of interjects and like kind of cuts the questioning one off. Thank you. Appreciation. Helpful. Gratitude. Swiftness. Speed. Urgency.
Where do we need to go?
And he points off to one of the sides, and you see it's one of those sets of stairs that you see going down into
I wanted to go
chamber
there anyway.
below.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you did. That's why I said it.
So wanted to go there regardless.
Right.
Yep. I was like, well, if I have to say something, I might as well say the stairs then. And he's projecting gratitude, and he looks at Alwyn, and he looks at him, and he sends out, stay, defend, keep safe. And Alwyn turns and thinks about it for a moment, looks at all the people around him, and nods his head. He'll stay and fight. And as you guys are like turning and starting to head out, ignore that. The Sovereign kind of puts a hand on your shoulders, Zenyatta, and you get a sense of like afterlife. No, not here. Underworld, no.
Is that regardless? We would like to help.
Yeah. Yep. So you guys, he does gesture over here in this area a little bit further, like to the bottom right here. These sets of stairs, and you are able to go. Zero, are you going to join them? Or are you going to stay with Alwyn?
Zero will chime up at this point and he'll say, so, do you have a healing pool or anything like that? That's the reason me and my friend came down here to begin with. But we're more than willing to continue helping you, just wondering.
Is he saying that to the Sovereign? To the King?
Yeah.
And he thinks about it and he says, healing gifts. And he nods his head. This is and you know this from being with them, that they send out a series of spores that act as an emotional telepathy. It's not exactly words, but you get senses and a little bit of imagery and feelings from them. That's how they communicate.
Zero will just continue his normal calm smile and just follow the group.
Sounds good. Question for you: do your cheeks ever hurt after a while?
Nope.
They're well practiced. They're just like iron cheekbones. Okay. So you guys descend the stairs, and there is
Mike and I, King, going, or the sovereign that we've been with, is he going with us or no?
He looks panicked. He wants to stay.
Okay.
And like he's still rushing around. He's still like bleeding and like wounded.
I'd like to cast Cure
He doesn't
Wounds
seem to
on-
care.
Okay. I'd like to go up to him and cast Cure Wounds on him.
Okay, sounds good.
And let's
Do you
do
want
that.
to raise one of the?
Yeah, and then I will use the scroll to raise one of them before we go.
Okay, sounds good.
Let's go for the king real quick.
And
I don't know why I wrote
nice. Yeah, so
Right.
11 points of healing.
Yeah.
Oops. I just set his HP to 11. That's not what we want. Okay, he looks much better now. He heals up, just kind of like rolls his body and stretches his arms and looks at you and gives you a grateful nod. And he's not fully healed yet, but he seems much better off. And then he looks at the king thinks about your offer, and as they gather all the bodies, you see several dead sprouts. 11 of them are dead.
Damn.
7 adults are dead, and 1 sovereign is dead. And as they're kind of like laid out in this area, he gestures to one of the adults.
All right.
And this one is, I mean, it's torn to shreds at this point. Its face is very gashed and bloodied. There's frost on it from dealing with the ice spiders, and overall, it's gone. But it looks structurally like it's kind of healthier, stronger. Like it's more formidable than maybe some of the other ones, and you get the sense from the leader. Future survival. This one.
Alrighty, so I will use the scroll on that one to bring him back. He comes back with 1 hit point, and let me remove this from my inventory.
All right, sounds good.
No. Yeah, I guess that is true. How long have they been dead?
What's the spell called? Which one is it?
It's
Is it
Revivify.
Revivify?
Yeah,
Okay.
Revivify. So 1 within the last minute. No, you're right. It's within the last minute.
With the speed of everything that just happened, say that it is within time.
Okay. Sweet. I
Just
took that.
just barely. You only had about 10 seconds or so left.
Alright, so I took that out. He's back with 1 hit point, and then I am also going to use another 1st level spell slot and cast Cure Wounds on him.
Okay.
But does that means that the second one's not going to happen?
Oh, if I do
That's
that,
true.
I would have to do them. Yeah, the second one's not going to happen because we're not going to be back in a minute. Oh, well.
Is there any way to preserve
Hold on. I might have one. 1 second. Let me look.
the dead or something?
There is one. I don't think I have it prepared, though.
It's called Gentle Repose. Yep.
Yeah.
Zero's got it too. The Revivify spell, costs a diamond worth of 300 gold, which the spell consumes.
Right. I mean, if anybody has that one, they can cast it on it, and then we can use that when we get back. But if not, then there's nothing I can do. I don't have it prepared, so.
Okay,
Not much.
gotcha.
Not much I can do.
Right. Well, let me cast this spell to give him his hit points back. Anyway.
Yeah, so
I don't know why. He gets 10.
10 extra health.
Yeah, back to the one that I just brought back.
Okay, it looks about half health at that point, but it gets up. It's kind of shakes around and like shivers its head side to side, and some spores visibly fall from his head and just kind of like land on his shoulders and ground around him. And he looks around very bewildered. This is not. You get the sense that this is not something that his people are familiar with. And all of them are like the little sprouts are like coming up to him and like curiously like climbing on him. And the three sovereigns are looking over, and they are, every native creature to this space is just in utter shock and awe. And the emotional cacophony that shows up after that from the telepathy spores is just overwhelming. It's a moment of lull and pause, and then wonder, bewilderment, incredible doubt, future hope. It is kind of an overwhelming few seconds where you guys are just assaulted almost by like a psychic force of so many voices communicating at the same time, and they're overjoyed.
I'd like to send image back of the glory of Phosphoros, and I want to show them an image of him, that it was by his glory that he was able to come back.
Okay.
I'm going to ask the sovereign which of the other he would like to have raised, and what I'd like to do is let him know that it's going to be difficult because of the time between when he passed and when we're going to be able to raise him. It's not guaranteed, but I'd like to try something. And so which other would you like to try to raise?
And he, in his wonder, he's kind of like taken aback, and takes him a minute to kind of think about it and focus. And you can see him like checking mental lists in his head. And you see pictures of the little ones. And they're gone.
Sorry,
They need their others. They need the sovereign they lost, so they don't lose, so they can protect more of the little ones they still have.
Okay, so what I'd like to do is walk over to the sovereign, the past sovereign, and get it in ice. So there's ice on the floor from some of the spiders, and I want to see if get as much ice on this body as possible, and try that.
Sure. So you kind of describe it so it doesn't decompose further. You and several other of the myconids are able to like dig a pit out, scrape off some of the ice that's on the floor, line the pit with the ice first, place the sovereign inside of it, and then
Cover it.
put some ice on top too. Yep, and that would be this guy here. And he looks at you very grateful. Perhaps chance, hope, fear.
And then turn around as we have to go and move towards the staircase.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, so you guys descend towards the staircase, and he does motion for one of the adults to go with you, to be your guide. Safety, hide, can't lose anybody else is the feelings and the insight that you kind of get from this. So this guy will over here, he will be your guide for this. So as you guys go, you guys descend the stairs, and these things they're not carved. It's more like they found rocks that had broken off into flat surfaces that were easy to manage, and they like worked them into the ground here. So you guys descend this flight of stairs, and it's dark, but it's very musky. Everything in this space, especially like this enclosed small tunnelish hallway, has a deep smell of mushroom, musk, a few scents of like putridness and decay. It's a very earthy smell that just kind of produces a calming effect. All right, and you guys are able to travel down, and the one adult mushroom is leading you forward. Anything else or anything you guys would like to do as you're traveling here? It is not in this space. It is fully darkened. There's not glowing mushrooms here. There's no crystals. This particular space is Zero cast dark vision on you.
Actually, I'm going to use the drift globe.
Okay.
So, it's not going to tell. All right, so it's a small sphere of thick glass, weighs about 1 pound. If you are 60 feet within 60 feet, you can speak its command word, cause it to emanate the light or daylight spell. Once used, daylight can't be used again until next dawn. I don't know how long daylight lasts, so if anybody has that spell,
we could look it up.
It's like an hour, I think. And so
Cool. Thanks for checking on that.
It'll float behind us, about 5 feet off the ground.
Okay, cool. Because it's no, it's 60-foot range. You guys should be fine. And are you having this drift in front of you, Jason, or just keeping it like kind of on your person?
It stays within 60 feet. So,
okay.
Just kind of trail.
If we need it, I'll just make a light source and move it around for you. That'll be easy.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Anything else for you guys? Yeah, free spell slot for 0.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't have anything.
Okay. All right, sounds great. As you guys wander down, and it's a pretty windy hallway. There are plenty of places where the drift globe you can't see too far ahead of you because it curves and the corner banks and the light just doesn't bend and you can't see that far. But it takes you about 15-20 minutes to get to this room, and as it comes around, like the mushroom kind of like puts its hands, kind of gestures towards you, Zenyatta, like away.
All right.
Like trying to like don't bring the light up.
I'll leave it where it is.
Yep, and it kind of looks around the corner, and there's a large expanse, and with what little bit of light is like reflecting kind of off the nearby walls and stuff, you can see that there's a pretty rocky flat floor, and then there is some sort of a drop off. That's about all you can see. Oh, unless give me a perception check. You're still on the same map. I didn't know you guys were going here. That's one of the problems with VTT, is that if you guys go off from where I think you're going to go, I can't just like instantly make a map. Takes a few minutes. But I can repurpose things that I already had in mind. So 16. Okay, you see some sort of holes in the dirt nearby you, and maybe there's a bridge across the drop off somehow. That's about all you can see. The rest of it's dark.
I could relay that to the people behind me. I call Ermgard forward since he can see better.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I see some holes in the ground and what might be a bridge. Do you see anything better?
See anything different? Anything else?
Yeah, so you go ahead and give me a perception check too.
And I'll assist him.
This is the assist, so just a straight roll from Mermgard.
Perception. Of course. Good.
No, your eyes are still kind of like adjusting, like you were kind of like nearer the globe, and then like you're trying to look through without the globe's influence, and no, nothing really comes to you.
All right. So you see the same things I do. All right, very good. What do you guys think? Just move out and head over the bridge? Send the globe out? And let it brighten up the entire spot?
Yeah, it's a cavern. You can go ahead and there's loose pieces all over the place. Yeah, you can. You go around, you grab it, and you check it. How far do you want to throw it? Probably, it's about 30 feet to the beginning of the chasm. If you want to go further than that, you need to have a pretty strong throw. Okay, go ahead and roll a strength check for me. That's fine. Yeah, 14. All right. So it's not a very big rock. You kind of come around the corner and you hear it as it falls into the cavern and kind of clinks down the wall. It continues for quite a while. And in response, you hear.
I think they know we're here now.
Yeah.
I'll just do you want me to just send the drift globe out in there? All right, so I draw my sword. I send the drift globe out. Full daylight in this area.
Okay, sounds good. I'm dropping people on the map. So give me just a second. If
Guys,
I click on the right thing, that'd be great.
Don't roll initiative until Morgan says to roll initiative.
Yes, that whole thing. Okay, what's the marching order, guys?
Same as normal.
Same
Me,
as normal.
Ermgard, Dondre, Zira.
And then Exion in the back.
Who is?
Exion.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Okay. Let me just make sure that... Okay, cool. All right, so you send the drift globe out. It can stay within 60 feet of you. You want to send it its full length?
Let's send it. Is that the chasm right there? What I'm seeing? I'll just send it to the edge of the chasm. That's like, it seems like that's in the. Oh wait, no, that's the chasm. Okay, never mind. Yeah, just on the other side of the chasm.
Oh, okay. You should not be able to see that at all.
I shouldn't.
Oh, huh. Wonder what's going on there. Okay, so just on the other side of the chasm, 60 feet. Is that bright light or...
It's daylight. Yeah.
Daylight, yeah.
Sphere is bright light and sheds dim light for an additional 60 feet. Okay, that wording is a little strange.
It says it's a daylight spell.
Right, because there's a light spell and then a daylight spell, right?
So in Dozer, maybe you know this. Does the daylight spell actually act like literal sunlight?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, so this whole time the Myconid has been hating this.
Great.
He does not look
Great.
healthy when he's near this light.
Well, that's why he was leading and we had the globe way in the back.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha. All right, so I'm gonna consider the orb on the the globe to be 5 feet, and that's bright light, and then it's 60 feet beyond that, which is the daylight or the dim light, because it doesn't really specify like this far for dim light and then this far for or this far for bright light and then dim light. It just talks about the dim light. Okay, so that is where you guys are at, and I expect that means you can see just about the whole cavern.
Yep.
Yep. And let me select everybody first. I need everybody to roll initiative in 3, 2, 1. Should be good now. Ooh, yeah, one of my guys got a natural 20. And then, Dondre, did you roll?
It did. 19.
Okay, I'll update that manually. It didn't connect them. And a 7 for Axion. Thank you.
Mr. DM.
Yo.
I think what the spell means is for 60 feet it's bright light, then for another 60 feet it's dim. Because it says an additional 60 feet for the dim light.
And that makes sense because it's actual sunlight. It hurts. Like undead.
Also, Myconid Kings apparently.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he looks unhealthy, and like as soon as like he's able to get away, like he scurries back and like looks very reprieved to enjoy some of that. Do you mind if I roll for Dory?
You don't have them just go on the turns?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I will just... Let's see, where'd you end up? 17. I'll just match your initiative. He gets his own token, so it shows up separately. Okay, so you send the globe out. It's pretty quick, and it lights up, and you hear... and a couple of these bulbous, fat humanoids with like spider fangs and not much else come through, and you see this guy. Yep, and in addition, you see a couple of these large. I broke the world to bring in a drow that lasted for one session. I figured I could do it with Driders too, because D&D really doesn't have very strong spider monsters, except for these. Okay, so and you see a couple of humanoids that. I knew it. It's all, and you guys are very familiar with centaurs, and it's like these are creatures with dark skin, white hair, terrifying looking. And it's like centaurs, but with the base of a large spider body instead.
And I'm like, that's a Drider.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right,
sounds good.
A fucking demon.
How do they feel about the sunlight?
They all like shy away from it and like hiss, and it's or not so much the kind of bulbous fat ones, but the Driders, they are not happy about it. They absolutely pull back, and they can't, like, doesn't look like they can focus their attention very well inside of it.
Gotcha.
Okay, so starting, we have which one? There we go. This one gets to go, and it runs to the edge of this platform and kind of skitters along this web, and then winds up over here, and you see it just bulk up and spew this massive ball of web. And it's going to attack Zenyatta for a 10. So nothing hits, but there is a splattering of web next to you.
Alright.
And I'll mark that. All right, next up is Dondre.
Yeah, mine says that too.
There we go. Now it's unpaused. Sounds good. Yeah, where are you shooting it?
Nice.
Okay, you hit less monsters. You had it, like if you had it where it was, yeah, right there. It hits this guy in the bottom left too. Okay, sounds good. Go ahead and roll your damage, and I will start making my dex saves.
Nice.
That is a natural 20 on the first Drider, and that is a dirty 20 on the second one. And then the one up in the top right, that is a 10. Bottom left, that is a 5. So both my Driders succeed. My bulbous spider faces do not. So go ahead and roll your damage.
He did. 42.
Oh, 42. Okay. So minus 21 on both my Driders. And that's 22 on the fatties. And Dozer, I totally realized that this is where combat utility belt would help, but I didn't have enough time to practice it, so I didn't want to like screw around with it in game for the first time.
It is very useful.
Yeah. Dozer's been showing me a couple of cool mods that you can put on to Foundry. Okay, so your ball goes out and just explodes. Ooh, does your drift globe have an AC? Can it be destroyed? Is anything like that specified inside of your?
Well, it's not
item?
in that area. But no, it doesn't mention it, about it being destroyable.
You are correct. It is about 10 feet outside of that space, so never mind,
Yeah.
you're good there. Okay, so the fireball goes out and just blasts, and all four of them, and they get just utterly wrecked. And this one up here falls about 10 feet and takes... Oh, by the way, everybody, I have a new mod. You can roll just like a random... dice should be at the bottom of your thing. Gives you dice options like in Foundry or the other one, whatever that's
Roll
called.
20. Yeah.
Roll 20. Yep. Okay, so it's standing on this web-like bridge that's crossing these two rock formations, and the fire goes out and it just vaporizes all of the webs that are in the blast radius, including the one that this Drider is standing on. So it falls, lands slightly heavily, gets itself back up, and it took 3 bludgeoning damage from the fall. Sounds about right. Real quick, Zero, what is your passive perception?
Oh, it's not very high. 15.
Well, not very high. Makes you the highest in the
High.
party.
That's pretty high.
Right? It's pretty high.
Passive investigation and then insight, please.
Passive. You talking to me?
I just have a cheat sheet.
Investigation Is actually it's more than 15. It would have been 19, and investigation is 18, 19, 20, 21.
Holy shit.
Your passive perception is 15. Your passive investigation is 21.
I believe so. Yeah.
Oh, sheesh.
What is your intelligence?
A lot. Hold on. Let me check the stuff. I might be doing this wrong.
Because I'm an 18 intelligence. My passive investigation is 17.
Yeah, I was adding my proficiency because I'm dumb. I got a 17
okay.
investigation and 15 insight.
Okay, so 15, 17, 15.
15, 18. I think you're 18, right? On an investigation? You have a 20?
Huh?
Is your intelligence 20?
No, it's 18.
Okay. So 17, yeah.
Okay, cool. Thanks. I've got a cheat sheet that I use to like reference everything. So, with the new person who has the highest passive perception in the group, as the fireball explodes, right here on this this column, as the fireball is about to go off, you see it, and there's like a small shrine built on it. It just looks like a little rock formation with a glowing white crystal.
Andre, what did you do?
And you guys didn't like try to perceive the room before you came in here. So the fireball goes off, and the diamond, which it's clearly a diamond, goes, and it doesn't explode. It flies off and like lands somewhere else in the room. You don't know where it is anymore.
Okay.
It's a diamond. It's pretty dense. If this rock formation can survive, so can the diamond. No. You were focused on blowing stuff up, and you have the worst passive perception in the group besides Zenyatta. All right. Next up is my two Driders. So this one's going to get up and charge forward. See, it's got how much on that movement speed? That's what I thought.
It was prone.
All right.
From the fall.
It didn't fall prone. It was okay. Just high enough that it took a little bit of damage. So you see it like start to run forward, and its large legs reach over the chasm. It doesn't even slow it down, and it comes over here and turns, and you see its open free hand. It's got a longbow in one hand in it. Shoots out a spell, and it's going to cast Hold Person on Dondre because fireball. Okay, what's its spell DC?
Counter spell.
You want to counterspell it?
Yeah.
All right. Third level spell and second level spell. Excuse me. Okay, so you see it go, and some magical energies rush out, and they come and they clash with magical energies that rush out from Zero, and the two hit, and the spell fades, and it screams to you. It's frustrated. Okay, so that was its turn. The next one gets to go as well. And it's standing up tall, and it's going to take 2 shots with its longbow. And see, it's going to attack. I don't know. I'll roll a d6 for this. Why not? Irmgard. Okay, so it's coming. It's attacking you with its longbow. 2 attacks coming in. That is a dirty 20 and a 19.
Neither one of those hit.
Man, freaking plate mail.
No.
All right, so they come in. You duck out of the way of one, and you block it with the other. No joy there. That'll be its turn. Next up is Zero, and you've got your reaction back.
Which one of these is the paladin?
The paladin is the Leonin here.
One that looks like a bear.
Right. Zero will turn to a big lion man, and he'll point the end of his spear at him, and a bit of energy will shoot out towards him. He will cast Enlarge Reduce on him, making him a big boy.
Sounds good. Also, I'm taking Bless off of everybody. That was from the last session, and it definitely has been past Bless's time limit by now. Okay, so Enlarge Reduce. I'm going to pump that up, and that doubles his size, right?
Yep.
Doubles his size and
damage too.
Yep, 1d6. All right, so you see Axion who is already a large person by your standards. He grows, and like as he grows, his back and his head kind of like bump up against the wall where he was standing, and he has to step forward. And he is much stronger and terrifying looking all of a sudden. Okay, nice. Anything else on your turn?
He will Blade Song.
Blade Song. Okay,
and that'd be it. Might move a little bit.
Okay, sounds good. I'm going to put a little wing on your character for Blade Song because it grants you extra movement speed. All right. Next one is this guy. He's rushing forward, and he actually jumps. He actually kind of climbs down for his movement speed, and that's about as far as he can go. And he wants to launch. Yep. He's going to launch a web attack at Zenyatta, because you're literally the only person he can reach. That is a 23 to hit.
I don't think the shield... Would the shield stop it?
It would. I mean, it's a physical barrier. Oh, your damage reduction shield?
Yeah.
No, it wouldn't, because it's an effect, not a damage reduction. It doesn't increase your AC, unfortunately.
Okay.
Okay. So this web, which you've become unfortunately familiar with, comes out at you, and like it lands on your body. You stop moving. You are restrained by webbing. So that's its turn, and
there's no save, no nothing. Just
no. It's the attack is to restrain you. So it beats your AC, and then you can save on your turn as an action. You can try to strength break it. You can, and you've seen this enough times, you know this. You can try to chop your way out of it, burn it. There are options, but it has successfully stuck you. Okay, next up is Ermgard, then Zenyatta, it'll be your turn, Big Axion, and then the final Plump Bug.
Alrighty, 1 second here. What's that?
What was that?
What do you mean, where am I? I'm right here.
Yeah, I don't see it either. Oh, you're probably covered by Axion? Nope. I don't see you.
You know, can you see me now?
Oh, there you go. You were behind Andre.
Somehow it moved him over. Okay. So anyway, from here, I'm going to cast a Firewall.
Oh. Okay.
My last 4th level spell. Come on. And we're just going to have it in a straight line, but going to be up here.
Are you doing the thing?
One
Or
second.
do you want me to?
You want to do it? I'm just looking at the spell real quick. So I'm trying to see how far
Sure,
away.
it's
So
60 feet, I believe.
120 feet. I was just trying to figure out how the range of the spell, so I didn't have to move.
I believe the range is 120 feet, and the distance that the spell covers is 60.
Yeah, that's it. 60 feet long, 20 feet high. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And we like to do this, so we add 15 on there. So it showcases the area that it's actually affecting. Cool, so where do you want this to be?
Okay, so can we turn it? I want it to go from left to right.
Okay, so do you want it... Scroll wheel. Oh, I know what you're talking about. You want it to go like this?
Yes.
Right there?
No, keep moving it up. I want it to cover everybody at first. So if it goes like in the middle of them, because it's 120 feet, right? I think they're what, like 60 feet away from me?
Yeah, so you can pull that off.
There we go, just like that.
Okay, and 20 feet high. That will get even the So if we do it like that, I would say you don't hit this drider that's nearest to you, this one here, because your flame it's on a 10-foot rock, and your flame doesn't go through the rock. I guess since it's 20 feet high, it could just go over it. Okay, so never mind. Yeah, you do hit them all. Oh nope, you miss this one here.
If it was straight across instead of catty corner, it would hit them all. So if it, yeah, keep going.
You could do that. That'll hit them all.
Okay.
So ignore that one. Okay, cool. All right, more deck saves. All right, doing my plump bugs first. That is a 10. Next one is
There we go.
an 11. Next one is 6. Okay, so they all fail. And for my driders, that's a 19. Ooh, almost had a natural 20. And a 5. Okay, so what is your damage?
I'm rolling it right now. 1 second.
Cool.
I think that should do it all, right? What is it doing? Oh, let me just do it from here.
Nice.
Okay. Yep. Okay, so 29. So almost all of them failed. Two of the plump bugs, they just start to scream and hiss and they are just sizzling. They're dead.
So, and then for my bonus action, we are going to cast Spiritual Weapon.
Okay, and that's 14 damage on that one and 29 damage on this one. All right, bonus action. Where are you placing it?
Roll that. Let's see here. Get off my screen. 1 second. I gotta look at it. Its range as well. Hold on, what was spiritual weapon? So 60 feet. So where am I at? So I want to place it right
The other
here.
fatty must be almost dead. Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna place it right there. Sounds good.
Yep.
Okay, you've got your token there, and I believe you have control over it.
Yes, I do, sir.
Yep, you do. Cool. Okay, so the normal the trident with green flames appears, and roll for your strike. Oh, you already did. 16. That will beat its armor class. So go ahead and roll your damage, which you did, and that one dies as well. It had exactly 15 hit points. So it comes in, it's reacting and reeling from the firewall, and it kind of appears above it and just like stabs it, and like its head goes straight into the ground, stops moving.
Awesome. And I will just stay there and end my turn.
Okay, Zenyatta followed by Irmgard.
Well,
And you are currently netted.
all right. What do I got to do to get out of this?
You can try to strength check it, you can attack it, you can burn it.
What's the DC?
You don't know.
Is it a strength saving throw or a strength check?
Check. Yeah, you've never fought these things before, so you're not quite sure how strong their web is. With the 17, you are able to break out of it. So it's stuck to your legs, and you flex and just start ripping it off and throwing it to the ground, and you have it a little bit like stuck on your hands.
And that counts as my action?
That is correct.
And I'll go right there.
Okay, sounds good. Then Axion. It appears to be.
I mean, he
Sounds good.
could probably easily jump that chasm.
Right? Isn't he enlarged too?
Yeah, he's enlarged.
Probably
So you
walk
could
over
you
that
could jump
motherfucker.
it if you want to. It's an athletics check.
Or acrobatics, right? Because
Thing is,
doesn't
if you
he
get
get it?
close to that firewall, you're gonna get burnt.
Towards you. Yep, and you are enlarged, so I think you have advantage on strength-based checks, anyways. That's true. Let me double check that. Advantage on strength checks and saving throws. So roll your check.
I mean, it's just a jump, right?
Yeah, but it's a jump, but it's a more difficult type of jump to like time your landing and whatnot. It's not like you're jumping across a flat surface. Okay, yeah, with the 24. Yeah, no problem with the 24. And I will say that is, you do jump. Oops, sorry, I moved you. I should have let you move you. I'm gonna put you back. You do land on the other side, and I'll say that is the end of your movement because your jump also costs your movement. But he's larger, so he can take additional steps. I don't think that's specified in the spell, but I feel like it should be. Okay, so you because of his size now, he's pretty tall, and this thing is about this rock surface tall. Each one of them is about 10 feet tall, but Axion's in like a high 6 feet 7 foot range, I think. So he's actually like his head is slightly taller, so he can swing up at the Drider from where he is. Okay, sounds good. Roll your attacks. Okay, 19. Man, you have bad luck for rolling worse with your two-handed damage. 19 will hit. That is its armor class. Yep, so go ahead and roll your 1d4 as well. And then -4 more. Okay, so you slash him. You cut off the tip of one of its spider legs, and it looks at you ferociously. Okay, this time it's prepared for you. It comes in and it rears up on its kind of hind legs, dodging your axe attack. Okay. He looks all right. He looks like this guy looks like he's pretty sturdy. Okay, now we're up to Dondre, then it's the spiders, then over to Zero. Yep, you can. He's up high on a rock wall. Yep, sounds good. So that is 5 bolts or 4? Okay, 25 will hit, so we'll do 9 damage there. Where's your other ones? Okay. 17 does not hit, dodges out of its way and burns a little bit of that. Natural 1 does not hit.
Ugh.
And a 12 does not hit. Roll a 1d4 for me, Dondre. Okay. You are so furious at spiders and so sick of spiders, it's actually like turning your vision red. You're just like, ah! You shoot these out, and the fight that's happening between Axion and this large spider, Axion steps to the side and like readies his next blow, and you actually hit him in the back with your fire bolt. So he takes the 9 damage. Like, watch where you're aiming.
Sorry, you're huge.
Okay. Now it's the Drider's turn. And it's when I end my turn in this space or enter it for the first time, I take damage, right, Duke?
Yep, that's right.
All right, sounds good. This guy's not happy about being up here. He's gonna jump down, and by jump I actually mean like his torso is like flat to the ground, but his legs spider climb down the side with no apparent trouble at all. And because he's still within Axion's range.
Yeah.
Yep, and he actually is going to, and he brings out 2 long swords and goes for an attack on Axion. Actually, no, actually, he's going to cast Darkness.
How does that affect daylight that is already there?
I believe it says in your daylight spell, actually.
That they're going to cancel each other out?
Go ahead and double check it for me.
I don't. Spells.
The spells, 3rd level spells or lower.
3rd level darkness spells, or 3rd level the deals it.
I think it's like darkness if it's below 3rd, but I could be wrong. I gotta look.
Yeah, it does. If any of the spells overlaps with an area of darkness created by a spell of 3rd level or lower, the spell that created the darkness is dispelled. So what level is he casting darkness at?
It is a 2nd level for his innate ability.
All right.
So if it overlaps, right?
Yep.
Let's see here.
It does.
Range on this thing. Yeah, it does. Your freaking globe covers the entire
The
damn
room.
battlefield.
Yeah.
Okay, so he tries to cast darkness. You see this dark void just pool out like, and then it gets pushed back. And he looks furious. All right, and that'll be his turn there. And he calls over to his pal. And
What language was that?
I don't think you know it.
Probably don't. But
What languages do you know?
Celestial, Common, and Gith.
You do not know it.
Does anybody else?
What languages does everybody have? None of those. No, Axion doesn't know it. Yeah, and nobody knows this one. And then this guy, his friend runs forward as well, getting out of the flames and kind of like patting himself off. And he casts the same spell in just about the same area, and this time it's like this explosion of darkness. This time it holds. So he cast it at a much higher level slot.
So we knew to cast it at 4th level?
He cast it at his max level.
Sorry, what was that, guys? My bad. My wife was talking to me. Just give me 1 minute, okay?
Yep.
All right, sorry.
He cast it at his max level because he didn't know what else. He didn't have specifics.
1 second.
Yeah, so this area here is magical darkness. All of you are plunged into utter blackness. You have no idea what's going on. And Axion is the only one that is saved from it.
Alrighty. It is my turn, correct? I'm sorry. My bad. guys.
Nope. Now it is over
Okay.
to Z.
Hello, that's me. I'm blind.
Mm-hmm.
So, can I just assume he would remember if he follows the wall to the left, he would get out of the darkness?
You're not entirely sure how far the darkness spans, but you do know that there is a wall to the left. The trick is that you don't know if you'll get out of the darkness first or if you'll fall into the cavern first.
Can I make an intelligence check? I don't want to freaking metagame.
Give me an Arcana check to see if you're familiar enough with the range of this spell. I would say, yeah, you do know. You do know that it's a spell. You should have a small amount left. I'm actually just going to delete everybody's vision that's in this space.
Yeet.
Okay, so I would say, like, in order to go that far, or to go there to kind of like find the wall and guide yourself and get yourself over there, so that takes a little bit of concentration, and that is your action to blindly navigate out of the space.
Alrighty.
But now, and let me see, do you have actual line of sight on them? You can see, you don't quite have line of sight to the creature. If you like stepped forward a little bit more, you'd be like, your toes would be dangling off the edge, but you could start to see the back of the creature. But it's precarious footing.
Alrighty. I don't think I can really do anything because I don't think I can really see it.
Yeah.
That's the end of my turn. Woo!
Okay. All right. Next up, it's Irmgard.
So I can't see either, but I'm just gonna have. I'm going to move just this far to the right. But the thing is, I can still move my spiritual weapon. I don't have to see it.
That is true, but a mental command as to like where to go and to attack, that's going to be at disadvantage, and it's at disadvantage, and the DC is higher as well. So you're just kind of, you're guessing where to attack.
Right. Okay. So my spiritual weapon, I would like to move him because I can't see him anymore. So 5, 10, 15 feet to the right.
15 feet to the immediate right.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. It moves over, and you actually sense that it like collides in with something.
I would like to attack.
Attack the something at disadvantage.
Spiritual weapon.
Uh, 19. Once more.
1 second.
Okay, you go and you just feel the trident swing wildly and like impacts the ground. No connection there.
Alrighty, and since I can't see and I have no dispels available, I'm just going to stay there and that's my turn.
Okay, sounds good. Zenyatta, you are up. Followed by Axion, then Dondre.
All right. How wide is the chasm?
I will measure it. It is. I think the shortest distance is still 15 feet across.
Okay. And your standard jump distance is your strength.
Let me double check that, because it's a rule that doesn't come up very often in my mind. No, not spells. Give me the rules. Sometimes D&D Beyond's like, hey, you want the jump spell, right? No, I don't. Come on, why are we taking so long in the loading? Yes, your strength determines how far you can jump. When you make a long jump, you cover the number of feet up to your strength score. If you move 10 feet before the jump. So you have to have 10 feet of runway, and then you can make it to your strength score.
Okay. And before the darkness hit, is this an actual hole in the bridge?
It does appear to be that way, yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna step back. I'm gonna step back one, and then jump the little hole and probably land on top of the drider.
Okay, roll an acrobatic or an athletics check. Because this one is you're starting on flat surface, and I mean you've got the jump distance, but to control your body without knowing where you're landing and like what part of the body you're trying to land on, that's sketchy. Okay. So you jump, and there's just a very brief moment where you come out of the darkness, and you come and land on the drider, and it's a rough impact. So I'm gonna say you take a little bit of like falling damage from that. Essentially, because you just full on jumped into something that was stationary. You take 3 bludgeoning damage. Just like you kind of like you're on the drider's back, and your head kind of comes down, and your chin hits some of its armor.
Okay. And now we're going to attack it.
Okay, sounds good.
So do I have advantage with Axion?
No, because it's not on the correct side. This is interesting. I need.
Should I be able to see now? Did darkness dispel daylight, or dispel daylight in the area that the darkness is?
It overlaps it, and because I don't have a way to like blind everybody or like blind those who are actually blinded. I'm having kind of a little bit of lighting conflict, so I just removed it for people's turns.
Okay.
Okay, so no, you don't have advantage, so it's just a straight roll.
All right.
Okay, yeah, 21, that'll hit. Go ahead and roll your damage. Okay, 23. All right, excellent.
And we'll go ahead and add Psionic Strike to it.
Okay.
And so it can make a DC 15 check.
That is a natural 20.
Alright.
It does not move. The force comes in, its legs dip into the ground, and they kind of crunch and grind these grooves into it, and it stays put.
Concentration check.
Oh, good point. That is an 18, so it does succeed. Okay.
Second attack.
Second attack. Okay. Yep. 24 will hit.
Ooh, that would have really sucked. If not for re-rolling all that.
Yeah. So 17 damage this time. All right. 17
How
sound
does
strike
it look?
or no?
How does it look?
It looks like it's hurting. You carved into it pretty hard, and it's starting to wobble, and it looks seriously pissed. It's mad that you're on its back.
Sonic Strike.
Okay, so 10 more damage, and so that's a 27. So the DC is 13 on the concentration check. And that's an 11. Okay, so the darkness spell disappears.
And also the DC 15 strength check.
That is correct.
Get it.
DC 15, that is a 12, so it fails its save there.
So it's going to fall into the chasm.
Cool. So are you. You're on its back.
I'm not staying on its back.
Well, you pushed it, so I would say give me a dexterity check to dodge your own push. You're literally moving what's underneath your feet into the chasm.
Acrobatics or dexterity?
Yeah, no, it's more like a dex. You're inflicting your own dex saving throw.
Okay. Not sure I agree with that, but fine.
12. You both start to fall. Mhm. Darkness does dispel. And you do, as soon as it happens, you look around and you do see them get pushed and they start to go down. They're as soon as they hit the air, they do start to separate a bit. Yes, you can. It is a reaction spell, so you can react and hit.
I'm gonna try to use my inspiration first.
Okay. No go there, but the Featherfall scroll does work. You see him falling, and you immediately react. You grab it. You've got some like holsters around your hips for like quick access to these things if you need them, and you cast it and launch out. And Zenyatta starts to float. He is not descending, and the Drider falls 30 feet and kind of disappears into the darkness. You don't know what happened to him. You hear scraping sounds.
And he's slowly falling, right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Then it's Axion's turn.
Shit.
Like 5 feet. Because he was... Yes, he can. He will take an attack of opportunity from the Drider. Okay, he did pull out his longswords before he cast a spell. So that is 18 to hit on the slashing damage. Okay. So it just kind of grinds off of his back metal, and Axion runs over, drops to his knees, and like reaches an arm out, and he is able to grab Zenyatta's arm and pull him back to safety. So, yep, that is his action. It's basically a version of the help action. Okay, sounds good there. Then we're back at the top with Dondre, then the Driders, then Zero. Living Scourge. Blah, 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 blah. I can speak. Okay, go for it. Yeah, 3rd level Scorching Ray. Okay, 23 hits. Your dice is covering the numbers, so I can't see. Okay, so 22 hits, 27 hits, and 20 hits. All right, so 12, 13, so that's 15 damage. Or excuse me, 25 damage, 36 damage, 43 damage on Scorching Rays. All right. His focus is on attacking Axion as he goes by, and as he looks up, just and he gets thrown back into the wall a little bit, and he drops to like 4 of his spider knees, and he looks up. He looks bad. It definitely hurt. Okay, that was Axion that moved, not Dondre.
Actually, Dondre moved too. That was kind of weird.
Maybe you had both of them. If you control more than one token and you move them, you can move them together if you've got them both selected. The way that you unselect is if you've got like the square, just drag on an open space. Yeah, that's the way I do it. Okay, cool. So you blasted the crap out of him. Alright, so this Drider, he is quite upset. And he's tired of all your shenanigans. He's going to go for another hold person. Well, you're pissing him off. Actually, he's casting it at 4th level, which is his highest spell slot. So he's going to lock down. He's going to try to lock down Axion, Ermgard, and Dondre. I need you all to roll Wisdom. You have counters. No. What level is your counter spell?
4th.
4th level, and is it counter spell that if it's 4th or lower, it's an auto success?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Should be.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh.
Okay, so you have to hit a 14 with your DC. Wait, is that what it said?
If you use counterspell, whatever level the spell is, it's automatic. That spell's done.
That spell and lower is automatic, right? It's just if
Yeah.
it's high.
Right. What spell level did you cast it at? Okay. Okay, yep. So you have to. So it's a 3rd level spell. You have to burn a 4th level spell slot in order to cancel it instantly, or you can use the 3rd level slot and roll a check. Okay. Okay, so you'll burn the 4th level slot, and it. Okay, so it does not go through it. The magic fades and it cancels out. And it looks at you. How you do? that's you basically kind of gather that's what it said to you. Okay, and all right. You hear something kind of scraping up the walls from down below in the cavern. And that's it. Next up is Zero.
Where did it fall down into the cavern exactly?
Right about here.
I don't see anything.
I click it? Somewhere in this area.
Can everybody hear the scraping sounds?
Yeah, it's not being quiet by any means.
Zero's going to move right to the edge and hold an action.
Okay, what action are you holding?
Lightning lure.
Okay. Oh, we talked about that. All right, so you're holding lightning lure. Cool. 15-foot range on that, right?
It is it's 15 feet range.
Okay. Sounds good. Irmgard, you are up. And as you come over, you start to see it's about 20 feet down. You start to see this thing like crawling back up. So Irmgard, your turn.
Alrighty. Let's see. So I use my bonus action first. How far away is it? 5.
Those plump bug things are just like still sizzling and crackling and just like
It's 20 feet from where I was, and I will use this is my bonus action. I'll use my spiritual weapon to stab down on the Drider.
Okay, go ahead and roll your attack.
Oh, damn.
Ooh,
Nat 20.
natural 20. All right, go ahead and roll your damage. Okay, so that's 15 damage. How do you want to do this?
Oh yeah, so I would like to think that it was above the rock and it was going down, so it just stabs straight through it, and then just into the ground. So just right from the top all the way down through its shit and through the bottom.
Nice. So exactly. So it slides up, kind of grinds itself against the rock a little bit as it's like leaned up against the side, kind of wounded from Dondre's firebolts. It just skewers and comes out the bottom, and it's like 3/4 out of the bottom of the bug, and it just starts dripping and dripping, and before it like falls back onto it and kind of like slides down the surface of the trident again. So you see it for a moment, and then it collapses, and the trident's gone inside of its own body. Right. Okay, so that was Ermgard. Zenyatta, you hear this?
That was my bonus action. Hold on.
That was his bonus action. So now he's going to kill both of them.
All right. So this other one was so I'd like to move over here with my movement, and we all heard it coming up, right? So I look down, and I can see it about 20 feet
about
away.
20.
Right?
It's about 20 feet down. I'll put it back on the map now. And it looks really rough. It looks worse than it did when it fell. It's got scrapes on its face and on its sides. It's clear that it took some damage from the cavern as it fell.
Trait. 1 second. I have to look at what it was I wanted to do.
No worries, man.
I really want to juggle this guy. I'm just saying.
Actually, I'll look down and I'll cast Guiding Bolt at him. Actually.
All right, go ahead and roll your attack. Your Guiding Bolt's an attack, not a save. Yep. Guiding Bolt versus Sacred Flame. The two occupy a very similar space in my head, so I just had to check. 13 does not hit. It's concentrating, but like it comes up and sees it coming and dodges, and it blasts into the wall behind it.
Ready. Now that will be my turn.
Okay, cool. Next up is Zenyatta.
All right.
Turn around and see your dancing partner coming towards you.
Yeah. I'm going to drop my sword point first. And is this like a dirt or is this rock?
It's rocky. It's not like a completely solid rock. There's some loose pieces to it. But yeah, for the most part, it's rock.
Okay. I'm just going to drop the sword really quick, grab the longbow, and fire a couple shots.
Okay, I'm glad you specified because I thought you were saying.
I'm not going to throw my sword at him.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say, like, I walk over to the edge and drop my sword, point first. I thought that's what you were going for. Okay, longbow, go for it.
That's not going to hit.
A 3 does not.
Can we get
hit.
any advantage while it's stuck to the side of the wall, climbing up?
Not necessarily. It's got spider climb, so it treats vertical surfaces as the same as if they were flat surfaces. So it has no problem moving right now. Spider climb? What's it called? Yeah, it's got climbing. The spider is a spider. That is true. Okay. Yep. So you're rolling for your second shot.
Yeah, I rolled a 20 to hit.
Okay. Yep. 20 will hit, and then with the 10, it had 9. How do you want to do this?
I want to smile at it, wink at it, while I put the arrow through its eye. One of its eyes.
One of its eyes. Nice. Okay. So it sees you wink, and it kind of like tilts its head for a second, and it just right there, the fletching just protruding from its eye, and the grip that it had on the rocks with its legs kind of arched up, the legs slacken and fall, and it just drops out of sight. Again, very much so like the rock that Dondre threw, just a lot louder. A mix of like armor grinding on rock and chitin grinding on rock with the occasional like snapping bone. It just goes on and goes and goes and goes. About 15 seconds later, you hear it hit the bottom.
15 seconds? That is a deep chasm. That's a deep chasm.
Mm-hmm.
I pick
All right.
up my sword.
All right, so you guys look around. There's still fire. There's this raging wall of inferno still set up behind you guys. And look over. There's a dead drider. There's a dead drider down there, which you guys know these things are called driders. With the exception of Zenyatta, you guys don't know anything else about them other than what you just learned in the battle. It's like, okay, dead thing called drider, asshole.
Makes darkness and spits what? No, I don't think they were the ones spitting webs.
No, they weren't. Those were the little ones.
Yeah, I just don't remember much of them. They got like popcorn.
Yeah, they did.
Oh,
Hey,
I'm
yeah,
gonna, I'm gonna end the firewall.
Yeah, can you get rid of that? It's a little warm.
I end that. My bad, fellas.
It's like after every combat. Ermgard, can you turn off the bug zapper? All right, so the cavern is now empty except for the sound of sizzling, oiling meat on rocky surfaces, and just an empty, windy sound coming through a couple of the caverns.
I am
Axion
going
is normal
to use-
size now.
And Axion shrinks. And as he does, he kind of like
Holy
shakes his
cow.
head and like, ooh, that was strange.
How big is the hole in this little fence? I mean, this little bridge.
5 feet.
I'm going to use investigation, knowing what I know of Fireball, and where did I saw the diamond or
You did not. It was only 0.
Only
Oh.
0.
okay.
Does the railing on this look normal?
Yeah, it does. Where the bridge is broken, the railing is kind of like sunken slightly, so there's like a bow to it, but the railing looks pretty fine.
Well, Blade Song is still active, because I assume I have like a few more moments. I'll kind of just run across the railing and jump to the other side.
All right, roll an acrobatics check for that. Tightrope walking.
With advantage, woo!
Double natural ones. You follow your death. 23. Yep, that'll do. Just you see the spear wielding wizard just on the other side. Makes it look easy. Dondre suddenly wants to try that.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. He doesn't. Not even a little bit.
Oh no, we don't.
Go for it. You know, with roll a dex save, just because like as you start running on the bridge, it is a rope and wood bridge, so like as you run, like it does shift side to side a little bit. Yeah, you're fine. With that plus your strength, you're able to get across just fine.
Why don't y'all just mend the bridge?
Yeah.
I've seen y'all do that before.
How big is this hole? Oh, you said 5 feet, right?
It's about 5 feet across.
Uh,
There's a couple of boards that you could like stitch back together, but there's like straight up like chunks of wood missing from the center.
Because I don't really want to jump 5 feet in plate mail with no dexterity. So
Well, it's strength.
This wood, you're fine. This wood looks super sturdy.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what you say.
It can
So
take a
I'd like
plate
to
mail
use
jump.
mending on it, some of it, to see if I can mend a little bit more. But I would like to make it across the bridge. So, but
Okay, sounds good. You're able to like mend like the first plank, and then like a couple of the ropes that are kind of frayed a little bit. Yeah, you decrease the DC of your jump a bit.
you guys just like to rush off and do shit. I don't know what you want. I'd like to attempt to make it across the bridge.
Okay, yep. Go ahead and you roll your dex save. Just make sure the wobbling of the bridge doesn't give out on you.
Just an ability check, right?
A dex save.
Is it just saving throw? There we go.
7. Okay, so you run and leap across, and as you land right about here, and your foot does crack through the board, and like you start to slip, but Axion's right there, and he reaches out and grabs your arm and pulls you up.
That went about as well as expected, actually.
Right? Yeah, sturdy. The wood is sturdy.
He's gonna look for the crystal that he saw.
And I'm gonna
Okay.
search this
I
strider.
would like over here with Zenyatta and help search the dragon.
Sounds good. Investigation assisted between Zenyatta and Ermgard, and then Z investigation on your own.
Can the
Or
bird help me?
Perception.
You rolled
Not
that.
for. That's a good question.
We'll take the 23.
Find Familiar can perform a help action, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. He darts around and he looks for it, so yeah, you can search around too. Or you can roll for him. Okay, 23. Yeah, you're able to find it. It got blasted back over here. And it looks like it bounced around a bit, and then it kind of sunk itself into a small hole that was nearby this rock.
That wasn't.
You
that,
find it.
Oh, he rolled a 23 also. Never mind. I'm sorry.
Yes, it does.
I thought you were talking about me. It's like I wasn't
Right.
looking for that. I was just searching the drider.
Yeah, you're
Right.
good. Okay, so yeah, you go over there and you do find a small, I don't know how much, 300 gold worth of crystal or diamond is. You find a diamond that's about that big, worth approximately 350 gold.
And I assume you were coming down here to find a diamond. That's what they were saying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Then he'll instinctively get a little rag, wrap it around the diamond because he doesn't want to touch it. And then walk back over here and just kind of wave it at everybody and give everyone a smile and say, "Hey, I found this. I think you're looking for it. Your friend almost blew it up, but here you go."
I wonder what that could have been.
There's definitely some ash on the diamonds. It's pretty dirty. Imagine it.
I
It's
look
fine.
at the diamond to make sure there's he didn't damage it in any way for my spell.
Yeah, go. You can. After you're done searching the drider, you can
Yeah,
go
after we're
over.
done. Okay.
It looks fine. Fireball's a strong spell, but it's not enough to
Heard
like a diamond that's not set in place. So when the force hit it, it was easily moved. It was fine.
All right. Awesome.
Okay, so for the drider, you go over and search it. You do find it has some scale mail on, 2 long swords and a longbow.
All right. Anybody want to check for magic?
I can identify things if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, I can't do nothing really except for this one last spell till the morning.
Nobody has detect magic.
I have detect magic and identify. Either way.
Yeah,
let's
let's move all the stuff from the drider. We can search the fat things too. It didn't look like they had any equipment, but was there anything else in the room? You said that was kind of like an altar right here.
Yeah. Which Zero saw the altar, and it just looked like a bunch of rocks stacked up, like a tiny throne for. And when the firebolt went off, the shrine just scattered.
Altars, temple.
That chasm, that as deep as the other one, or is that?
That one you go over and if you want, you can nudge a rock down it. It it falls for about 20 feet, and you hear. You kind of gather 20, 30 feet, not nearly as deep as the other one. Now, I still don't.
He just,
Yep, so
right.
communicate is shape how I to shape what you are able to do and talk about and whatnot. Yeah, it's another pillar. It's only about 8 feet around. It's another rock pillar. And it was stood up, and it just looks like their bridge, like everywhere else, but all the web bridges are burnt up by now. It just looks like there's rock on it. Yep. Okay, just kind of keep from the investigation preview. You look at these bugs. Yeah, they're sizzled and crisp and blades. So they didn't have anything on them.
All right.
Drider died down a hole, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the other one fell through a hole.
And that.
Yeah.
No, I just want to make sure.
Do we want to cast magic on? Let's get back to the.
Let's,
Yep.
You know, and that might also try to bring him back.
All right. Does somebody have a bag of holding? Did we steal them?
Me had Noemi had a bunch of your crystals that you mined.
Original one.
Irmgard was the bank teller, and Noemi was the vault.
Right. So the 9 gems at 100 gold pieces each, 20 aquamarine gems that were 10 gold pieces each.
Well,
And
we
then
would have
100
split,
gold.
right?
For narrative reasons, no, you wouldn't have. For gameplay reasons, Duke, you have a bag of holding now. Also in your bag. I'm not going to punish you guys.
Check that
Yeah,
out.
no problem.
All right. So then I will put these in the bag of holding. All right. Got it.
Okay, sounds good. Or you? Okay, you guys back at a quick pace. It seemed to be a pretty. There was a couple of offshoots that you can take, but it's pretty clear on the way of like how to get back. And the Myconid is and the guided you here. He did not stay.
Oh.
And he and its guys have been gone for about 3 and you are able to return. They're still gathering their people. There's sovereigns are like pouring just a way.
Okay, so which 2 kings is our king? Let's give them total. 2 of them are busy. Like to get one of their attention. So we
Large like mushroom caps as like one ruler. You get it, and he looks back at you and okay. And it kind of comes off as a question.
send being a safe, but also an image of the Drider, and then the diamond.
Good. Oh, and I assume you guys do, but I assume you turn your daily.
I would assume he did. Yes, I don't know.
Okay. You're muted.
Yeah, it's turned off.
He looks over and there's one that's the base, and like he just took you down there. And so you guys know that daylight makes these things sick.
Right.
And that they have a hard time attacking at it. Okay, so you guys, King, he eagerly says he starts ushering you over to the place where you iced the big one, and several people to Chala, and you go ahead and try to connect the spell, or no? Do you have what is it, divine intervention yet?
I don't.
You're level 8, yeah.
Channel Divinity. Channel Divinity.
So we'll say this is basically practice or connection with how to do. Oh,
Okay.
If
So
you
we
click
roll
on the
D100
2D100, it shows you both. Sorry.
yeah, I can see. So you rolled a 95 and a 22. Okay, so as you sit there, you grasp this diamond in your hand. Perforos's magic, the flames of Perforos's magic, kind of come into your hand as you're holding this, and you reach out your other hand and kind of place it on this myconid, and you push the thought of revival, a similar experience where you shattered the other diamond and it turned into light particles and like shot back into the first one that you, or actually the scroll burst into light shards and went into the first myconid that you revived. This one, and you search for the presence to connect it to. And you search, you push, you're frantically scrambling, looking harder than you've ever looked at anything in your life, trying to find where this thing's connection to this world is. And it's gone. There is no soul to reconnect to this body. It has moved away. The diamond is intact as the magic is not spent, but you gather that it was just too much time to be able to bring it back.
So, with great sorrow, I let the king know that it's just too far gone.
And he looks at you, and there's a deep sense of sadness. His what would pass for cheekbones on this guy just kind of sag a little bit, and he looks just sad and worried for his people.
Ermgrul just drops to the ground, slumped over in defeat. All of the spells are gone. He's exhausted.
Yeah. Okay. So, anything else you guys would like to do in the moment?
Z will speak up and say, well, if you want me to look at your items, you can bring them over here and I'll do it before I take a rest. Also, Mr. Kingman, do you have the thing I've asked for earlier or no?
And he looks and he says, nearby, healing, nearby, not here. Other gifts here, healing further.
Guess he's the guy here. I know. Actually, I'm not even saying that. Like I said, he's my guy's not saying nothing. He's too exhausted.
But
if you give me the stuff, I will detect the magic and I can identify them if they have magic. So,
and at this moment, you recognize that Alwyn is not there, despite what the map says.
typical drow.
Yep. And the king says, angry tiger, the emotion's like kind of angry one with cat went to find. Yeah, so if you guys bring any items, or what items do you guys want Z to start taking a look at?
This damn thing goes. So we got 2 long swords, the longbow, and the scale mill.
Was there anything else that we've gotten?
No, because we had the armor, and I identified that, and then we had the trident, and I identified that. I don't think there's anything else that we got that wasn't identified. Besides these 2 these 3 weird diamonds with some magical aura.
Yeah. So you guys kind of go through. You don't have any magic items for him to check out, but you do have these specifically shaped diamond pieces, and you can set those out in front of Z. And Z, there was a subtle yet very powerful abjuration magic surrounding these.
I would like to identify.
What's that?
I'd like to cast Identify.
Okay. Okay, I'm just reading to make sure I'm complying with the spell properly. Okay, so you cast Identify on them, and you gain more information about them. The arcane powers that surround these things. It's almost like a weave, and you could start reading it like a book. But you don't get a clear picture of what it does. It's like reading it's like between the 3 of these, it's like a portion of a code. And it's almost like you're reading a book with every. I mean, you can reading a book where every page has blank spots, and you can only read every 10th, 12th word. So
Like
you
a
gain that it's part of a whole that is not yet complete, and you're not sure if you can gather what it's supposed to be without whatever pieces are missing.
Well, being an idiot that Z is, he will dump all of his spells and Identify and Detect Magic just to try to figure it out, and if he doesn't, then he doesn't.
He just shoves it all in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Just for the sake of brevity and whatnot, as you kind of finish the first round, the sovereign comes over, and the king went in. He lays some new things at your feet, and he says, he gives you a cross like found, some threatening, some lost, some gifted. And he lays a few items at your feet, and they are all magical.
And then were the 2 long... Oh, actually, never mind. Go ahead.
The 2 longswords, the scale mail and the longbow, they are non-magical.
Well, I believe Detect Magic is still up, so...
You do get that they are all magical. They are magical items of varying strengths. And you will need to identify them separately, I believe.
How many are there?
Each
There
one's
are-
one type of spell.
There are 5.
I can do 3.
Sounds good.
And then after we take a rest and whatnot, I can do 2. I can do 2 as well.
Okay. So there seems to be there is like a wind-up crab-looking thing. There is some sort of wand. There's a ring, hat. A hat that looks like it has fur on it, and a cube. Which of the 3 would you like to identify?
The ring, the cube, and the wand.
Okay. So the ring is a... Oh, let me see if I... My bad. Forgot to pull up these items before we got into things. So the ring is a ring of jumping. And let me find you the link there. All right. You said the cube and the wand were next.
Yep.
Okay. The cube is a thermal cube. And the wand is a wand of binding. And from the look of these things, it's a very strange gathering of items here. And you think it's like however long these myconids have been down here. It's probably just they happened upon magic items over time, and they could tell that they were significant, so they held on to them.
He will share all of this information with the group.
All right, sounds good. And then you've got 2 more things to identify later, and this large haul of magic items is brought to you by all the reviews that you guys put in. That definitely did help bump up the quantity of things that you got, and well done on reviving. Sacrificing one of your high level spell scrolls for reviving somebody. There was a calculator to determine how much loot you guys were going to get based on how many myconids survived, and that definitely helped you get back up to a better spot.
Nice.
So, looking at the ring of jumping.
Yep.
Is that as often as you want? It doesn't say anything about charges. It doesn't say. Just says it's at will, bonus action, self only. So does that mean you can do that every turn if you wanted?
Yep, that's correct.
Oh, I would love to have that so I can get into range faster.
And it does require attunement. And I don't think you have any other items attuned to you at the moment, do you?
I have one.
Or, I mean, besides your sword.
Yeah, that's it.
Z very pointedly, after identifies them, just hands them over to the group.
Is that
like he has no no stake in the matter?
Pretty much. He will say, though, with the crystals, he'll look at whoever handed them. I don't know all your names yet, sorry.
Ermgard. They were in my position.
He'll look at Ermgard and say, "These are very interesting. Would you mind if I kept them for research? I'm unsure of what they do. They have some type of abjuration magic coming off of them, but I feel like I will need some time and maybe more supplies or things like them to figure it out."
Yeah, I say that's fine. Items.
Yes, you can.
Wand of binding.
Are you sure the ring of jumping requires attunement?
It does. I'm looking at it up in where it says ring of jumping. Immediately below that, ring, comma, uncommon, parentheses, requires attunement.
It's not even giving me the option to attune it. Items require an attunement. Mind Blade, Greatsword. That's the only item. Ring of Jumping is not showing at all.
Yeah, when I look at it on D&D Beyond, it does say Ring of Uncommon requires attunement.
I'm just saying, it's in my inventory right now.
Right.
And it's not showing up under attunement. Items require an attunement, just my sword.
Okay, well we'll just kind of keep that in mind, and if it's not working, then yeah, you've got your second thing attuned.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it says it needs attuned pretty much everywhere I look for it.
Yep. Cool. Okay, so Wanda binding, thermal cube. What else are you guys doing there?
That's why. I had to click on it to add it to being used. It just being.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Doesn't add it. All right, got it. It's in there now.
Okay, excellent.
When you were inciting him, were you trying to see if he was lying or something?
Yeah, about.
He just seems genuinely curious. It's not the problem. I share with all of my friends, and I assume we're friends since we fought together twice now. Sorry if I counterspelled some of your stuff, though.
It was a good one too. It would have bound 3 of you.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it went way ugly.
I'm very upset that you killed the one crawling up there. I was gonna lightning lure him up, smack him in the face with reaction, and then hit him with the end of the spear at the same time, and I'm so upset.
Yeah. That is a brutal combination that you came.
Yeah.
Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah, I
Yep.
can hear you.
Okay, cool.
I know I'd like to
headphones
identify
beeped.
the other 2, but I'd also like to take a rest first. So
Yeah, we need to rest.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. You guys are everything around you is
Ruled
you know,
by
it's
cash.
in a state of mourning. They're still dealing with things. But you are where would you like to rest?
so this was
They don't seem to be in a very hospitable atmosphere at the moment. Not like they're being rude, but they're wounded or they're dead just take higher priority than you guys do.
I'm gonna come
Right.
into this room right here. Do you see where I am?
I still see you. Oh yeah, you can move your characters over there. Yeah. Well, yeah, you guys go in there, and it's a strange little room. It's secluded, and there's some water running down the walls, and even on the back wall where it doesn't seem like there should be water coming, because it's like you can see the open air, but there's still like water trickling down from it, and there are tiny ferns and plants and mushrooms and different things growing. It's almost like this room is essentially some sort of garden space.
I'm
But
assuming there's no door. Sorry.
Yeah, there's no like hingy door or anything. It's just like a couple of walls that you walk into.
But there's only one way in, and it's through that door, right?
Yeah,
Or
there's a door. There's a door frame, and that's it.
Okay. It gives us a spot to defend. Obviously, the spiders can get here.
Yeah, they can.
So I'll take first watch if you guys want to rest.
All right. Yeah, sounds good. So you guys settle down. You all just plop and kind of lean back. You're all pretty exhausted. Nobody's terribly damaged, but you just went through a couple of exhausting fights in the last couple of hours. All right, so go ahead and roll your perception check there for me, Zenyatta, and roll a D100 as well.
Alright.
Okay, first watch. You seem to think goes uneventful. Who are you waking up?
I will wake up Axiom.
All right, you go over, shake him. He's what?
Your turn.
My turn. Okay. And he kind of shakes himself up and like claws through his fur a little bit and wakes himself. And he takes his turn. Dondre, go ahead and do the same, or Q, do the same for him. And D100, please. No. Yeah, same thing. You know, nothing seems to happen this time around. And who's got third watch?
You can do it.
All right, Ermgard.
You say perception?
Yeah, perception and a D100.
And then you said a D100.
Mm-hmm. Okay, no, nothing seems to happen this time around either. Whatever swarm of spiders came and attacked this place, you kind of gather that perhaps their numbers have shrunken a bit. And you guys are able to take your time. There's plenty of rushing and moving of things and bodies and body parts and just repairing the city, this town where they live. And you guys are all capable of getting your full rest. So go ahead and toggle that. And then we'll take our break there and we'll come back in about 15 minutes, guys.
All right, sounds good. And then,
Awesome. Takes a long rest and recovers 5 hit points. Right? That's about it. Keep throwing stuff at you guys, but you guys are hard to hit. Yep, I'll long rest him. Wake. And the lighting seems the exact same as when you went to sleep. No, mushrooms and crystals are the light source here, and there doesn't seem to be any day-night cycle.
asked to identify on one of the other two items. I'm identifying both, so it doesn't matter. Right. That's all.
Not the most useful of magic items, but sometimes you find random stuff that's not battle related.
That item's useless.
I rolled on a table to find this stuff, and that showed up. I'm like, absolutely, I'm absolutely giving them this useless thing. Because you guys will likely find some reason to use it at some point. It'll be ridiculous.
Yeah, well, there's definitely a reason for it. You could use it as a distraction. I mean, there's plenty of things. A bat, frog, or a rat. That's awesome.
We're definitely throwing that in a wall of fire at some point.
All right, so I'm going to use another spell slot to identify the.
Yes.
Oh,
Right?
for real.
All right, and the last one is a Vox Seeker.
Go ahead.
Got to be better than that other one, but probably not by a lot.
I need-
Not by a lot. You guys identified the best items first.
Blind sight.
So you guys find a Vox Seeker. It's a tiny little mechanical automaton that can follow you around if you want it to.
There's ways for that. I mean, you always attack and bite somebody.
Right? And Ermgard, this is probably pretty fascinating to you, just like to see metalwork in such a done in such a way that's so precise with so many precision little items to it. It is a nice, masterfully crafted piece that is basically like way outside your skill set because it's a different focus on metalwork than what you do. But you can very much so appreciate the craftsmanship that goes into this thing.
And I think it's amazing. And I'd ask if I could keep this. I don't care about anything else.
I'm
I don't
good
care.
with the ring.
So you get the ring, Dondre gets the hat. Who's taking the wand?
So Zero can have the wand because it has to be a spellcaster. So it's either me, Zero, or Dondre. Oh, I guess
Binding.
is he a spellcaster? Yeah, the wand of binding is restricted to a spellcaster, and it can do what is it? Hold monster, or hold person, or assisted escape.
Yep.
That could be useful. Those last two, not as much.
No, they're so lame that they don't have attunement.
Right. So the one that does is the wand of binding. So whoever gets that's gonna have to tune it, and then the ring of jumping, and then
Yep.
what about that thermal cube? I guess that could just go. We can just bring that out when it's cold, and it can just
Right.
stay in the bag of holding.
Yeah, no, Zero doesn't want anything.
All right.
All right, cool. So you guys find a couple of, very useful items. You find a just kind of quality of life improvement item, and you find a couple of quirky items.
Quirky's not the word.
Jason hates anything that's not combat related.
No, that is absolutely not true. I love the drift globe. I would love some night vision goggles too.
Right? But you guys are so hard to hurt anyways, just punishing you with darkness is one of my only strategies.
The easiest way, right? Yeah.
Z will cast Dark Vision in Mage Armor.
Okay, sounds good.
I also give Zenyatta blessings of the forge for the day. We do this every day.
Is that what they're calling it nowadays?
Nice. I believe it's an hour. You have to spend an hour kind of like meditating with the item.
Right.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, that's just wearing the ring does that, right? Or do you have?
You have to spend an attunement is you have to spend time to bond your mental state to the magical item.
Okay. Do that also, I guess.
Yep. Okay. Also, Dondre, now that you are the owner of Hat of Vermin, you need to find a picture for it and share it. Yep. Okay, so you guys awake. You spend a few minutes to meditate and discover what items you have with you, and spend a little bit more time to attune to them. And then afterwards, what would you like to do?
Guess we should probably go talk back to the kings, huh, guys?
Yeah. See if there's anything else we can help with.
Right. See if there's anything else they need before we. I mean, because this was a caveat to the original mine that we were doing, where we were looking for these these adventurers, right?
Hey, I found your hat. That's definitely a vermin hat.
And then, Morgan, how long have we been away from the since we originally got sent on this quest? Because like the other lady, like she sent those people because they have been missing for so long. And it's like we've been missing for a long time. We haven't like checked in or anything.
Yeah, but she trusts us. We're badasses.
All right.
Right? See here, it's been it's been about a week, maybe more.
Okay, so let's see here. Hold on before we do anything else. It's been about a week. I don't think that's too long to be gone. No, I'm good with what I want to do.
Now somebody has to Photoshop that hat onto Dondre's avatar.
Oh yeah,
Look at all.
You're definitely wearing it.
That's fucking great. That makes it that much better. Where my drink go?
Right? Alright, come on. I should be able to. Let me see, where is he? There we go. That's Dondre. With the derpy hat. Minus the sword with the derpy hat.
Good luck.
So I guess back to the sovereigns.
Yeah.
I'll just go ahead and move everybody, just make it easy. Ermgard, stop stepping on the mushroom people, that's rude.
Very small. Oh, that one's not small.
I see you, German. Okay, so you go back, and the things have calmed down a little bit by now. The pile of spider bodies is utterly huge. If you were in town, you've seen taverns a quarter of the size of the pile of spider bodies. These spiders that you were fighting were all large creatures, 10 feet wide, some of them up to 10 feet tall, and there was several dozen of them attacking this space, and you guys helped defeat quite a bit of them. And so there is just this massive pile of spider bodies, and you see some of the adults just still dragging a few of them up there and just kind of throwing them on top so that they don't spread out too far and take over the entire plaza or anything. You do find your friend the Myconid. You do find the king, and they're kind of talking at the base of the large primary mushroom, and Indays seem to be nodding and looking at different things and gesturing, and they look like they've gotten a little bit of rest, but not much.
Have they poofed us yet?
You can walk up, and they do poof you as you come into their attention space. Again, you get the strange alien connection, familiar and comfortable to Yada, but for everybody else, or excuse me, Zenyatta, not Yada. But everybody else, it's kind of an alien feeling. Pretty strange.
I ask, is there anything else that we can do to help with this spider issue?
And it kind of looks around for a second. Sees the pile of spiders. Turns to talk to the other two sovereigns that come by. You see the kind of heftier adult Myconid as well come over. And there's something about them. There's something like they have this intense energy about them, not angrily, but it's like they're filled to the brim with power. And it's the one that Irmgard revived. And it comes up and it starts talking as well. And the four of them kind of converse, and they eventually turn to you and kind of give the impression. Pawns.
Do you know who might be controlling them?
Numbers. Real threat elsewhere.
Do you have an idea of where that threat is coming from?
And the four of them converse. And they're trading ideas. They don't seem to be fully aware of, off the top of their heads, of where this might be. But you guys get the sense that they're brainstorming, and then they start to point, and they're excited, and they start to there's obviously some sort of thought circulating between them. And they turn to you, and they say, and they give upward, north. Large darkness. Nothing returns.
You guys want to go check that out?
I say that's where it sounds like where we should be going.
Agreed.
Is that where the healing pools are?
And at this point, that's when Alwyn kind of speaks up, and he's like, "You can forget about that. I already covered it. I've got it right here." And you look over to these like blue mushrooms, and he and his cat X are lying on the wall underneath the mushroom. And he says, and the vial that he has looks kind of like this bluish green, and he swirls it, and it's a very lazy, thick swirl inside of it. Says, "This is what we came for, and I'll be the one to take it back."
If you try to get credit for the whole thing, I will find you and I will kill you.
That's fair. I'll tell them you helped. Just you and everybody else. That seems like there's too much magic happening for my taste. I need to be alone for a little while. I'll find you again, and I'll give you your cut.
Okay, stay safe.
And looks at you, just kind of nods, and like goes back to sleep and puts his head like back on his cat. The cat just kind of like looks back at him and kind of flicks its tail angrily and like licks his face with a big tongue, and then kind of like goes back. And the whole time, like the big lick on the face, he doesn't even like flinch. It's just,
Don't mind him, he's super edgy.
He is a drow.
Yep. All right.
You say drow, but I hear demon. Yeah, I'm talking to him. All right. I'm just saying.
Just saying, I saw his face on a spider. Body.
Third den.
Kind of like backhands you. Shut up. Let's go.
Let's go. So the king's had some ideas, right? Right. That's a third den.
Going north.
So yeah, you guys were talking about going back to the mines that you kind of veered off from. You've got the north travel to go potentially find what's going on with these the source of these spiders. Are you guys going north, or are you doing something else?
Go north and I mean, we haven't finished with these spiders yet. Sorry, Dondre, but there's gonna be more.
We might find who's controlling them or inciting them, and then you can really take out your frustrations.
He just repeats it over and over for 100 feet as you guys start walking.
I'm going to say to the Sovereign King really quickly, with these elongated, well, do a mental picture of the three elongated diamond crystal things that we have. Does he have any idea where these can be used or what they're useful for?
Or where more might be at.
And the king looks at them puzzled and looks like to the crystals nearby, and then looks back and he thinks strange, shaped, unnatural, new to me.
Okay.
She was unnatural too.
Yeah, I think they're probably used in the mines, if I had to guess. Because we did find one in that forge. Like literally in the forge.
That somebody blew up.
Yes. I'm not going to mention who that might have been.
Yeah.
But it was fire, is all I'm going to say.
Damn it, Axion!
Yeah.
I keep looking at creatures and I'm like, cool, yeah, resistant to fire, sweet. Oh, that's not gonna matter. Shit.
Is a Baylor immune?
Oh, don't you worry. I'll start throwing immune to fire. I'll start throwing immune to many things at you guys at some point.
Right. So I guess we're heading north, right, fellas? I mean, are we ready to go?
Yep, let's go.
Ask them for I mean, they're the ones that have an idea, so are they going to give us a guide?
Or do they have any rations, any food? Because I think we're out of food.
Yeah, at this point, you guys, from whatever you guys started with, your rations are down. Should be down about once for every long rest, or one ration.
I'm not even talking about that. We went through the water.
No,
yeah, that's right. Yeah, your rations are pretty much toast. I think between all of you, the pieces that stayed dry are like the pieces of ration that like didn't matter if they got wet or not. You guys probably, after last night, I'd say you only have enough for one more long rest.
So I asked them if they have any food, things that would be edible for us.
And they look over to kind of the smallest of the three leaders, and he looks very excited. And he runs into the chef. He runs into the room that you guys stayed in, starts picking things off of the wall. And and then runs back into like the large mushroom and like gathers some stuff, and like he brings out like this handful of like edible mushrooms, dried plants and herbs, and it, you know, to you guys, you know, you're starting to run low on food. It looks great. There's some that have like kind of a nutty, sharp flavor. Some that are like pretty mellow but have like a meaty texture to them. If you like take a bite and like sample it out. Yeah, I know a lot about mushrooms these days, being vegan, and there's a mushroom vendor that I talk to every weekend at the farmers market.
Oh well.
So you've got, you know, among other things, you've got chanterelles, you've got lobsters, you've got chestnuts.
All right, we've got some food now. Let's be on our
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, so
and
probably
moving forward,
it gives
I'll,
you.
I'll take care of the food. So
Yeah, it gives you guys 2 more days of rations for the group.
all right, awesome.
So you've got essentially three long rests worth of food to go right now. Okay, so you guys start heading north.
Yes.
Okay, cool. And you know, as is kind of their custom, they seem to be pretty fond of this. They send two adults with you to kind of be your guides, and it takes you a little while. Probably, and just for the sake of brevity on this, takes you about a day to get to where you are going. So you do have to use one of the rations. And then, and you get to this part of the forest, this underground lair, which is just starting to get darker. You've been in a place where the mushrooms were providing a lot of light, and they were a lot of bioluminescence and whatnot there. But now you're getting into a place where it's starting to mellow out, almost. Like there's not so much vibrancy anymore. They're starting to get paler and a little bit more just reserved looking in the way that they branch out. Image in the chat so you guys can kind of see some scenery. It's a little bit more dark and dank. Yeah.
While we're like traveling, I'm going to be looking for mushrooms and like very similar to what was given to us in these areas. So if we find some, we can pick it and add to our stores.
Okay, sounds good there. Go ahead and roll a nature check for me.
Of course. Maybe survival? It doesn't matter. They both suck. Actually, nature is much better. Never mind.
Okay. 12. Okay. You're able to confidently identify an extra like 5 or 6 mushrooms that you find, or you know, about like another 2 rations worth. But 2 ration, not like for the whole group, but like for 2 people's worth of mushrooms along the way. You saw more that you thought that were pretty close, but slight differences, and you know that sometimes grabbing, you don't want to get poisoned just because like there's a small difference that you failed to notice or didn't give enough weight to. But you're pretty confident about the two extra rations that you found.
So as Ermgard sees him searching through these mushrooms, he just laughs at him and be like, "I'll just make some food when we need it." So.
Well, why didn't you say that?
I told you I'd cover it. I said I'd cover it, and you just started looking for mushrooms. I mean, if that's what you prefer.
I just prefer not starving.
No. I'll once we need it, I'll make it.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, so you guys travel through. It does take you a little bit of time. You go down one of your one round of rations for the group. Like I said, and the mushrooms are just overall they're just kind of more stale in color. They're a little bit more creepy overall, not so light and whimsical as what you were seeing previously. And is there anything you guys want to do on this trek to this location? Roll a perception check.
Chickens for spiders always.
$16. All right. You see less spiders than you have previously on your treks through this underground cavern, which, by the way, it's really strange to you. You are this far underground. You have been traveling for several days. At this point, like 8 or 9 days. And you are still underground. You haven't seen the sky, or breathed fresh air, or touched the sun other than the globe in longer than you ever have before in your life. And it's freaking weird. But you do see spiders, not as many. You think you might have thinned out the herd a bit, but also you kind of sense that maybe they're just backing off a little bit even more. Maybe there's something slightly intelligent to these things. Like they know. Right. Okay, anybody else? Other items on the way? Okay.
I don't have any.
Cool. So it does take you guys a little bit of time. No encounters, but you do come up onto this area that is just utterly bleak and dark, and it seems like all manner of color has faded by now. And the mushrooms are once again kind of shaped like dwellings, houses. They glow, but there's no color. There's just, it's light or dark, either or. And things smell much more pungent and fetid and decomposed and rotted here. And you don't... Go ahead and whoever wants to, 2 of you can roll perception checks for the village.
Not me. Probably Z.
Hey, Irmgard and Axion.
Oh.
You guys, cool. So you guys notice this is a very different structure than the previous village that you were just in, where it's almost like the mushrooms are so dense and hard that things have had to be like carved out to make space for these dwellings. And there's no people. There are no myconids around.
Is there windows in these dwellings? I mean,
Yeah, pretty similar in the picture that you see. There's some higher up places that are kind of like spotted. Those are as close as what you would consider to be mushroom or to be windows in these mushrooms, and they're tall and they're twisty, which is an odd shape for a mushroom, but it still clearly is. And how many what?
we have 2 myconid. Yeah,
You
two
have two
guys.
myconids. Yeah, and they're looking around like in horror and shock.
Oh shit.
And you do see there are plenty of spider webs.
Great. Hey, we found a town of spiders for you, Dondre.
Dondre tears off the seal on his chest and like, okay, you guys need to run. He becomes a nuclear bomb.
Want to look at the myconids and be, is this where the sovereigns were telling us to come? Oh, great.
Further. Not here. Too close.
Guess let's keep going, but
So this is the
slowly,
launching point.
right?
And they seem horribly appalled. Like they. Let me see here.
Was this one of your towns at one point?
Yeah, and Z and Zenyatta, the double Z's. You guys sense from the body language, like, yeah, they know these people. This is like a different branch of their society. And it is absent.
So the spiders have destroyed a part of the civilization. Okay. I mean, we see a bunch of webs. Do we see any spiders?
Just a few small ones. You see a few big ones, like, backed up. Not really doing much. Just the constant feeling that you're being watched is by these spiders is still very, very present.
Do we want to clear out this this town of the spiders? I mean, I don't think I really want to have a town of spiders that we went by coming up from behind us. Yeah, getting surrounded by spiders doesn't seem fun. Although we could just have you cast a fireball on one side and Ermgard put a wall of fire on the other.
Two fireballs, two walls of fire. Let's go.
And then the little snake swarm thing too.
Was that a question about the numbers? Roll a perception check. You can roll as Axion, yeah. 6 to 15, maybe. Might be the same spiders moving around place to place.
Up to you guys. I mean,
Right, they were guiding us. Is this where they're guiding us to? I mean, then let's just start here and move out.
And they think and they talk, and you get some new feelings from them. Tax, prisoners, webs, contained, drained, long term.
do you think we should clear out these spiders here first?
And they look around and they're just thinking, the people need to save the people. Gotcha.
All right. And it's very dark in here, right?
Yeah.
I nod.
So you guys are trying to head past the village.
I think clearing the village makes more sense. Even though we want to find the prisoners, if there are prisoners, we're not stealthy. Never been stealthy. We're not gonna be able to get by these without them coming up behind us. Plus, they're already looking at us. So
Okay. So what are you guys doing?
what did the Myconids do after Dondre tells them that?
They go find a place. They like back up quite a ways to a place that like doesn't have webs around them and has like some shelter above, and they just like stay there. They've seen what you guys can do, and they just kind of freeze and stare.
All right. Yeah. All right. Speak the. I ask if everybody's ready first.
Yeah, I'm ready. Try to refrain, Dondre. Try to refrain from fireballs in the village.
And I'm going to utilize the drift globe.
Okay, sounds good. Getting a light source up for ridiculous space.
Yeah.
Okay, and let me activate this.
And then you said this took us at least 1 day, right? So then I can get my spells back from my identity slots, right?
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
How tall is this thing right here?
That's about 15 feet up.
Okay.
There's a little pathway right about where you selected there.
Oh,
Because
that little stairs.
there's another, yeah,
Gotcha.
there's a little house like built up on top of it.
Are these stairs here?
Nope, it's another rudimentary bridge going over a body of water.
Oh, look at how nicely they lined themselves up for a wall of fame. That's true. So maybe do it this
Hero's
way?
Dilemma.
Do it this way?
We care about the mushrooms.
Well, it's their homes.
I think it's their houses, right?
They can rebuild.
I guess they'd have to regrow.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right? That was a copy paste error. I did not just mean to spawn 30 spiders.
we appreciate.
Let's see. So there's water in here, right?
Yeah, right over here.
Yeah, there's a little river flowing by.
Good. Yeah, cool. That was nice.
All right. So as you guys sit here and talk about the strategy that you're about to do for how to handle this experience that you're looking at, that's where we're going to break today. And we'll pick up the combat here next time. And we'll head on and get into the next leg of the adventure with this spider-focused journey, and hopefully you guys can figure out what the cause of it all is next time.